Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. Today is Saturday and round 6 for the first season of the 2021 series Manufacturer Series on Gran Turismo Sport. So here we are at Tokyo Expressway South Interlude for 15 laps, and for the second time we'll be using where the Group 4 category will be ready to go. The schedule is changing to take place on afternoon and evening, so this is going to be very good for all of us before we will take the next 5 rounds. We'll be going in on the weekends. So let's get ready to take on the entry and grab our Group 4 to be ready to go on. The balance of performance regulation will be setting up automatically whenever we can race on Tokyo Expressway in the South Interloop District. But this one might take a lot of good chances to avoid a penalty by hitting the barrier by having a 1.5 second penalty. Just be a reminder, have a good race and take a lot of good clean practice before we will join in session to be in the lobby by taking a 5-minute qualifier before we will get started out to begin. Before you enjoy watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the race, and let's begin. Round 6 in the first season of the 2021 Series Manufacturer Series is about to begin. Group 4 race cars are about to get ready to get started for having a chance of clean race at Tokyo Expressway. Toto Rogier 4 is in first place in the Audi TT Cup, NTCT Tenacity 777 in second place in the McLaren 650S Group 4, UK Phil's Backer in third place in the Pescia Tarsi Group 4, Tractor Fixer is now taking 4th place in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4, and we have SBRT Arceos SS is taking 5th place from Brazil in the Ford Mustang Group 4, Johnny AB75 in 6th place in the Audi TT Cup, and here's Johnny Arenas GTR 79 in 7th place in the BMW M4 Group 4, Doug B68 in the Ford Mustang takes 8th place, and we have Dex FKX in 9th place in the Alfa Romeo 4C Group 4. Here's myself in 10th place for the UZRS in Sportec livery of the Corvette C7 Group 4. Brombitch 13 takes 11th place in the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Can't Handle It 187 in the Jaguar F-Type Group 4 in position number 12. Karuja _Balas is now taking 13th place in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4. Fat Boy C Init is now taking on in position 14. And we have Rex NFX in position number 15 in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4. Xavier _384 in 16th place for the Dodge Viper Group 4. Username Danger in the McLaren 650S Group 4 in 17th place. Kofi ST is in the Jaguar F-Type Group 4 in 18th place. Sutton Soul is now going on to have position number 19 for the Nissan GTR Group 4. So we got 19 drivers and 15 laps in Tokyo Expressway to be on the South Interlude, but make sure this one might have a 2 pit stop strategy will be required by the fuel. So let's go on to have a rolling start, and half the fuel map will get situated before we're about to be going in to hit the green light for taking 3 seconds. Since I just got everything to be quite for the first round for having a most successful race to be on round 5 from the Manufacturer Series at Sardegna Road Track C. So here we go, folks. Looks like this is going to be the perfect time. We'll be going over to hit the green lights, and we're going in underway to take the 6th round. We'll be going successful for having a good, remarkable chance of having a clean race. Good luck out there, folks. Turn 1 is going in to be successful clear by taking the 2nd straightaway before coming in at turn 2. This one is going to be the tough collision point, so we have to take exercise caution whenever we can. going faster and pass through onto the 150 marker board, and that one might have a few chances to be going in onto the inside apex. And we have Denny AP75 in the Pesciat RC set. Group 4 just barely hit the late braking and ends up at the line corner to be on the collision, to be having one car to be hit by a barrier. Penalty effect for only 1.5 second penalty is going to be quite giving an important notice, so be careful. This race is going to get much tougher as usual. Moving on to position number 8, and Joni Arena's GTR 79 in the BMW M4 is going in to take position number 7. Now comes in onto sector 2 to be on the full straightaway, to be perceived as possible to be tagging on for having a slipstream. But the fuel map is going to be the only possible thing. Will be quite situated for the number of laps we'll get on for having a number of range whenever it stops in onto lap number 7. It could be possible, but it will have to be quite giving a situated for using the racing soft compound tires will do all the work. Hairpin successful, now going in onto the on-ramp before coming in at sector 3 at the end of sector 2. NTCT Tenacity 777 is going in to take the lead at the front. He's going forward to take on the S-curves. Formation at the inside is going to be the only way to smoothly in and smoothly out without taking a contact to be hit by a barrier. But wait, looks like the 6th place driver just barely took the effect of the penalty by hitting the barrier. Doug B_68 in the Ford Mustang is now going in to be proceed onto the second lap until moving on to be at the penalty line to be forced to slow down. NTCT Tenacity 777 is the first driver for taking the fastest lap time by 2 minutes and 12.349 seconds. It's time to go faster out there, folks. Everybody has to go for it for only 18 drivers remaining. One driver just left the lobby, and this is going to be the last point race entry by the guests. So it looks like Toto is now going in to catch up onto NTCT Tenacity to stay on it to have a rightful spot to be in the lead. And going in onto turn 2 and going right in at the turn 3. But this one might have Korucha is now going to be passing through. Bromwich 13 in the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG is going right in at the turn 4 and 5. Going on to take that straightaway by the chance on Hyundai. But this one might have UDRS in Sportec in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 4 is going to be going right in on the inside at turn 6. Taking on the straightaway at the end of sector 1 before coming right back in onto sector 2. This will be quite giving a good successful defense for Mercedes-Benz will take the action while Hyundai is taking the offense. Chevrolet is going to be quite taking a lot of progress to do on the slipstream, but the racing soft compound tires is going to be the only effect will get slowly in, and the fuel will get a little bit fast depleted, is going to get much amount. Now pull the brake, coming in at the hairpin. This one might take the inside position, is going to get much formation out there. Outside for Mercedes-Benz, goes on the inside for Hyundai, and it's about to be going side by side at the on-ramp. Karucha_Balaz and Bromwich 13 is going right and in at the end of sector 2 before coming back in onto sector 3. The S-curves is going to be going right in, folks. That was going to be quite good out there for Hyundai. Mercedes-Benz will have to take a lot of charming chance out there to catch up onto Hyundai in 8th place. UDRS in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 4 is going in to take the final corner to catch up with Hyundai in Mercedes-Benz before coming forward at the end of the second lap. Tractor Fixer is now taking the fastest lap time for only 2 minutes and 7.107 seconds. Is going to be giving the most successful running time for any different Group 4 cars is going to be quite doing well to achieve. Good job out there for a third place driver from Canada. That one might take the only opportunity. Will be doing a lot of good excellent speed to catch up onto NTCT Tenacity 777 in second place, while Toto_Rogier is now moving on to stay on in first place. On to the last minute, UTRS in Sportec is already made it in onto turn 2 before going in onto turn 3. Turn 4 and 5 is going to be the only safe advantage without getting crossed through onto the apex without getting compromised by the penalty. Keep an eye on them. Looks like this is going to be having one driver for only a 0.5 second penalty on Hyundai. Karucha_Balaz is now taking the effect for ignoring the track limit. This one might have some investigation will be going underway, folks. Everything has to be quite going situated out there to stay safe to be on the clean race. But wait, looks like Xavier underscore 384 is coming in, and wait, could that be a disturbance lag? Gonna have to make sure this race won't get affected to it, because that might take a lot of good perfect segment. Will be trying to be successful to be on the highlights. And oh man, looks like this is going to be having a contact out there at the hairpin. This cannot be good. This has got to take the blame on something else that pushed me up on purpose. Take no offense, that might be having a compromise for UDRS to be taking a most slightly risk by pulling the brake before coming in at the hairpin. So let's see, this is going to be having an instant replay to have something to be causing me to all kinds of major problems out there before going in to take that perfect turn when going on the inside. Alright, looks like that might be giving a little bit more solution to see it. Now, let's go on to moving on to, at the end of the third lap. Moving on to lap number 4. Just gonna have to go closer in to overtake the Alfa Romeo before coming in at turn 1. That one might take the only slightly turn to be at the freestyle position at the left. But the penalty is still takes the effect, so that one might have Dex FKS in the Alfa Romeo 4C Group 4 is only about a 0.5 second penalty. But it's gonna have to take a short amount of time, but it might take the advantage for UDRS in Sportec. Rex NFX is now closing in about 0.7 seconds behind, while Xavier underscore 384 in the Dodge Viper Group 4 is coming in at turn 4 and 5. Will be slightly in to do the overtake at Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo takes the penalty line to slow down, while UDRS has the opportunity to catch up onto Dodge Viper in 9th place. Karucha underscore Balas in 8th place with the Hyundai Genesis Group 4 is coming in to enter the tunnels at the end of Sector 1. Now comes in onto Sector 2, is going to be step things up a notch. The faster limits will be taking a lot of good slipstream by having a good FR layout will do the action. Dodge Viper is going closer onto Hyundai, and now pulling the brake at the 150 marker board. Will be taking the chance on the inside. And wait, looks like Rex NFX in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4 is now going on the late braking approach. That is going to be quite giving a slightly risk detected for UDRS in Sportec in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 4. Pretty close call at the hairpin, and that means it's all safe for now from the previous lap due to the contact push on the Peugeot RCZ Group 4. But take kindness with no offense, everything is going to be taking much careful for having a hairpin will be doing slightly significant whenever every GT player is going to have to take that kind of a strategy risk whenever FR drivers will be going right in. And here comes the first wave is going to an end. Lap number 5 is on the way, only 10 more to go. Position number 10 for UDRS in Sportec in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 4 in the Grand Sport variant will be coming right in at turn 1 to take the second straightaway to catch up onto Xavier underscore 384 in the Dodge Viper Group 4. Karucha underscore Balazzi in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4 is now going to be taking on the defense. So it looks like two drivers are now going on for the side-by-side. Hit the brakes at turn 2, and that one might have a significant approach for Satine Soul in the Nissan GTR for the GoPro variant. Nissan takes the inside position to be going right in at turn 4 and 5, while Alfa Romeo is going to be staying on for the slight defense ever yet. Now goes right in onto turn 6, take that inside position, is going to be going on for the line. But that one might take a few gap distance in range by the slipstream, while Denny AB underscore 75 in 13th place in the Peugeot RCZ Group 4 is now going to be closing in onto UDRS in about 0.3 seconds to go on the gap distance. Taking on the speed tunnel in Sector 2 is going to be giving a significant chance to see how Group 4 racers could probably have to keep it up. Taking a lot of good chances without getting caught in the penalty is going to be doing a lot of significant for having a good clean race in Tokyo Expressway. Gonna use the apex, keeping up. Now it will be quite going situated by using the field map in about the exact balance in range at 3. 2.1 remaining laps to go. I hope this is going to be quite giving a stopping point whenever each number of laps is going to be at. And there goes Sector 3. Alfa Romeo and Nissan is now going in to take the S-curves at the inside before coming in at the final corner. But that one might take the heavy turn. We'll be giving a good clean chance without taking a 1.5 second at the penalty. UDRS overtakes Nissan and going right down onto 11th place. Goes back in onto position number 10 at the end of the 5th lap. Now moving on in 6th lap is going to be quite doing excellent out there to take the only exact position spot for every pit stop strategy in range in about the 7th through 9th lap. So meanwhile, Tractor Fixter is now taking the lead. The Canadian driver is now doing a brilliant good job out there for taking turn 4 and 5. Gonna have to pass 5 before coming in at turn 2 by a second ago. Sitting low in the Nissan GTR is coming right back in to overtake Team Chevy in the UDRS in-sport tech of the Corvette C7. Is now going to be going right faster for an all-wheel drive. But that we might take back on the rocks is going to be the only possible theory. We'll be doing a lot of excellent speed to be giving a lot of good throttle out there. Gonna have to close in on to turn 6 and take that straightaway at the end of the first sector. There we go. Looks like this one might take the slipstream. Will be going in progress. Gonna have to keep an eye out. It's only past 25% fuel remaining before moving on to take the next lap. That one might take the reminder sign. Will give a notice. Looks like this is going to be the only recommend call time. Gonna have to keep moving on to take the next lap. Otherwise, the sacrifice will be going in to be feigned in about 0% remaining. Switch it up onto 5 and switch back over onto the radar. We'll be moving on to take lap number 7. That's more like it. This one might take the perfect chance for UDRS in Sport Tech. We'll be moving on to take position number 5 to be catching up to take lap number 7. We'll be going into the pits earlier by reaching up onto lap number 8. But that one might take the most possible hardest racing strategy in the FIA Gran Turismo Championship in the 2021 series. This one is going to be the toughest interchangeable race strategy ever yet. So that's a responsibility to take a good usage of the fuel. Gonna make sure if I could probably have to keep holding out laps longer, that one might take lap number 7. We'll be going in to do the stopping points. But it will might go better out there. And we have SBRT underscore Marico is now going to be stepping things up to be in position number 3. Doug B underscore 68 in the Ford Mustang is going on to take second place to catch up on to Toto Rogier 4 in the Audi TT Cup 2016. So that one might take turn 4 and 5 is now going to be taking the perfect step to be using on the inside of the apex. Now goes on to take turn 6. That one might take a good understeer cornering turn to have the first place driver will be going in to be making the one first step to be going over to do a fuel strategy at the pits. Gonna have to hang in there. This one might give an emergency alert on the fuel. That one might take a little bit bad news out there. Only 9% remaining. Gonna have to do it fast before several drivers will have the opportunity will get past me on the overtake. Almost there, in about 10 seconds ahead of the gap distance. That one might take the corner, will be going on to do the pit stop. Only 0.5% remaining by having a lap amount. That one might take the perfect chance, will call into the pits. So it's time to go on for the outside cornering to do the pit entrance. That's more like it. This one might take a good perfect scheduled spot out there if you enter the pits by taking a required refuel. Will be going in to be at the 100% at range. That is how racing strategies for only a tire switch and a full fuel capacity will be recommended to take the first pit stop. It could be possible to be having a second pit stop. Now's the time to be going in for having the second attempt for doing a pit strategy to have a refuel. Will be going a little bit less amount. That's how racing strategy works in general whenever we race in Tokyo Expressway. Stays in Tokyo Expressway. So right now, UDRS in Sport Tech is coming out in the pits by having a full refuel, and it's about to be going right back in action to be stopped at position number 16. This one might go straight up ahead at the end of the 7th lap before moving on to take lap number 8. I hope everybody has to do a lot of good perfect turns out there to stay clean to achieve without getting hit by a barrier in the result of a penalty. But still, everybody still works hard out there to keep up to beat Tractor Fixer's lap time in about 2 minutes and 6.542 seconds by having an update. Now it goes on to take turn 1 and goes right in onto the 2nd straightaway to be reached up at turn 2. This one might take the only exact possible position spot we'll be going in to hit the braking points. We'll be giving the most exact perfect cue moment. But try not to take any contact whenever it gets closed in, just side by sides to be going on to take the straightaways. That should be quite good enough. Gonna have to get a little bit much closer to reach up onto username Danger in the McLaren 650S Group 4. On to the last minute in the top 3 drivers. SBRT_Mauricio SS is now going to be taking the pit stop to be going in to stop at 2nd place. UK Bill's Backer is in the pits as well for having a 3% fuel remaining. That one might have Dex FKS is now in the lead. The Brazilian racer did everything for having a good successful racing moment out there to stay on to be in the rightful spot to be in the lead. Only one driver at the end of the 8th lap now goes on to take lap number 9 and the total gap distance by 48 seconds since I'm coming out of the pits in position number 16. This one might take the only few circumstances for every driver will be moved automatically will be taking the chance. And here comes UK Bill's Backer in the Peugeot RCZ Group 4. Now's the time to be going in for having an opportunity overtake will be closed in at the end of the 2nd sector. Goes on over to sector 3. Inside cornering at the S-curves will be step things up a notch. We'll be doing decelerating and taking much accelerated after having a good respawn turn. Keep it steady at the final corner. That one might take a few scratches without taking the effect of the penalty. Gonna increase the pace. Switch things up over onto mid-power 3. And here comes lap number 9. This will be the end of the 2nd wave. We'll be get situated in. Hold on. I guess this is going to give a little bit more quality disturbance out there, folks. We cannot let this race to get interrupted. Gonna have to make sure to have UK Bill's Backer will have to stay with us. Otherwise, this race might get a little bit more be over soon. Now goes in onto turn 2. UK's Bill Spacker in the Peugeot RCZ Group 4 has to take a little bit more concentrated. We'll get everything under control. And he is back on for having a yellow bar quality check on it. So make sure just going to have to keep a good respawn in the green. Turn 6 is going in. And now take the straightaway at the end of Sector 1. Goes in onto Sector 2. But the quality disturbance is going to be having a little bit more technical difficulties for UK Bill's Backer. I hope he has a little bit more quality effect. Is going to be giving a little bit more issues out there. We might make sure to give some prayers to him whenever he has to try to stay with us for having a good perfect race to be in the 6th round. While Nissan GTR in 12th place is going in to take the hairpin, and that one might have Porsche is now going to be catching up onto the on-ramp before moving on to take Sector 3 at the end of the 2nd sector. Satine Soul is still going in, and that one might have the all-wheel drive. Will be going for a much counter effect. We'll be doing the understeer. UK Bill's Backer is going to be doing the understeer by doing the same as 4-wheel drive. And they're about to be going right in at the final corner at the end of the 9th lap before coming in at lap number 10. Possible update on the top 3 drivers. We'll be moving on to stay on the rightful spot for having different drivers will be coming in. Tractor Fixer is now coming right back in 1st place. This one might take the perfect chance for the Canadian GT player. Will be doing a most finest opportunity. Will be going right in onto the gold podium. NTCT Tenacity 777 in the McLaren 650S Group 4 is still catching up onto Tractor Fixer in 2nd place. while Johnny Arena's GTR 79 in the BMW M4 is moving on to take position number 3. Dapper might have everything for taking a lot of good turns in the second corner before going right in at the turn 3 to turn 5. Look at them go, you guys. Peugeot and Nissan are going right at it to take the right spot to do the direction. Only 3 cars are now going right in onto turn 6 to take the inside position. UTRS and Sportec will be doing the same by taking an exercise caution, will do the outside cornering. Goes on over to take sector 2 by having a speed tunnel, will be going right in. And Tractor Fixer is in the pits by only 9% of fuel remaining, will be required to be taking 1 more stop to go. 5 more to go, folks. This will might take a good, brilliant race to see how things will get organized, but the management of the fuel is going to be the only possible choice whenever we have to stop any position until we reaches up onto the finish line. Gonna keep going. Looks like this one might take the only hairpin turn will be proceed forward at the on-ramp before moving on to sector 3. Danny AB_75 is moving on to take second place by the ropes, while NTCT Tenacity 777 in the McLaren 650S Group 4 is currently to take right back in onto first place to be in the lead. He can probably take home the podium whenever he wants, but any Group 4 cars, like the understeer Peugeot RCZ Group 4, will be taking the much perfect opportunity, will push things up to the limit. 4 more to go, and we are in the 11th lap. The spectators on every buildings have really enjoyed the sightseeing view out there to see every racer who can probably take that good talented performance will be taking a lot of good corners by having a good easy opportunities, and the hardest opportunities will be taking much successful to be taking part of the circuit experience. Going on to the second straightaway to be reached up at the second turn. Hold the brake, and that one might take 1 car will be giving a good turn. Looks like Can't Handle It 187 in the Jaguar F-Type Group 4 is going right in to be closing in onto the gap. Gonna have to push away. Gonna have to take the short straightaway before moving on to take turn 6. Slow and steady, and looks like the Jaguar is slowing down to do the same. That was pretty good close call out there for Can't Handle It 187. But still, almost really had the chance. We'll be doing a remarkable race out there to take. This one might take a 1 pit stop only. We'll be using the fuel map. We'll be taking a good responsibility. Gonna have to keep up the pace. It's about to go defense. Coming in at the hairpin to be pulling towards the 150 market board. That one might take the only chance for UTRS and Sportec will perform the inside cornering before going right back in onto the on-ramp section to be at sector 3 at the end of the second sector. Only 50% amount of fuel remaining left, folks. I hope I can probably have to keep it up. The sacrifices will have to be going in vain before it reaches up onto 0%. That one might give a little bit depleted to be by having a skin of its teeth. Going right in onto the final corner and take the straightaway. So let's see how the fuel map is doing. 46% remaining. Gonna have to go on to take the mid-lean 4. Can't Handle It 187 is still by moment out there to see his Jaguar F-Type. Gonna have to go right in onto turn 1, smoothly in, fast out onto the second straightaway to catch up onto UGA's Bill's Backer in about 4.2 seconds to go. Meanwhile, Bromwich 13 in the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG Group 4 have already made it in onto the 3rd position. That one might have the only successful racing spot out there to catch up onto Xavier 384 in the Dodge Viper Group 4. As BRT_Marquillo SS is in the lead, the Brazilian racer has that perfect chance to see how he can do it without any hesitations for having a good successful opportunity for having a Group 4 race at Tokyo Expressway. Clean Race has to be doing a good effort out there to take without taking a contact to avoid a 1.5 second penalty. But sometimes other drivers has to try to keep things up to get under control. before going in onto every sector around the course map. Already made it in at Sector 2 for UTRS in Sportec in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 4. Can't Handle It 187 is still continuing on to the ropes to catch up onto my current position. And that with my DFKS is now moving on to take second place, and Audi is now going on to take the comeback at third place. This is going to be quite doing a brilliant race out there to see how top three drivers in different regions is going to be quite taking a hard, high-speed pace will do the rush. But I guess that will might take two Brazilian racers will be taking home the finish line until the 15 lap will be finally to arrive. Gonna keep a little bit moderation out there, taking a single star earned to be having a good clean race, but that will might have the results will be start over at square one. But yeah, I just really took 3-point race entries by taking another tries, but it will might have to get through with it. But actual circuits is going to be the only easy way we'll do a good successful race. And hold on, looks like Can't Handle It 187 in the Jaguar F-Type Group 4 is overtake UTRS at turn 1 to be going right in at the second straightaway. And that means NTCT Tenacity 777 in the McLaren 650S Group 4 is doing the same. That is so incredible to see how two British Group 4 cars has successfully taken a good effort out there for having a good clean pass. But that is fantastic to see how it can do it while UTRS in Sportec continues the chase. Now goes on over to take turn 4 and 5. Better keep an eye out. This one might have the penalty effect to be avoided onto the ignoring track limits. This is going to get the hard spot for UTRS. Has to be much careful whenever it comes in to be taking a most perfect line to be step onto the apex. Only 25% fuel remaining, and we are already in at sector 2 to be at the tunnel. Just gonna have to catch up on to Can't Handle It 187 to do the side-by-side, and hold on, just gonna have to get some open space while Can't Handle It 187 has the advantage. That was gonna be a pretty close call. Now goes on over to take the hairpin by the stopping points. Drop down onto position number 9, and things will get harder out there to be on the slipstream by using the fuel map. Better make sure to save one lap until moving on to take the final lap. We'll be taking a lot of power, will go to the limit. Gonna keep it smoothly in. Try not to get some scratches around and go on over to the final turn. There you go. This one might have the only way we'll get closer to Can't Handle It 187 in the Jaguar F-Type. Gonna have to take the left side. And here we go. Lap number 14, only one more to go. But that is going to be much grueling out there to be on the evening race. But tonight's is going to be giving the most possible celebration out there since I have finished the 5th round at Sardinia Road Track B. It was my first time to be winning the Manufacturer Series, but it's spanning a whole lot of hard racing efforts out there on different racetracks. But this round, this is going to be quite going in as usual. We'll be doing another chance. So heads up, just going to have to go right over to turn 2 before coming in at turn 3 and turn 5. We'll be going right through. Going right over to catch up onto NTCT Tenacity 777 in the McLaren 650S Group 4 has already made it in at turn 6 before it catches up onto Doug B_68 in the Ford Mustang Group 4. Going on to the full straightaway at the end of Sector 1 to go right in back onto Sector 2. So it looks like NTTC Tenacity 777 overtakes Doug B_68 in the Ford Mustang. We'll be doing a lot of good speed to be quite giving a good mid-engine layout. For passing through onto the Group 4 muscle car, will be reached up onto the hairpin. This is going to get much risky out there to take, folks. Gonna have to take the sacrifice before moving on to take the final lap. And Can't Handle It 187 in the Jaguar F-Type passes UTRS in Sportec. We'll be going over to be at the unwrapped section to be at Sector 3. We'll be coming right in at the end of Sector 2. This is going to be quite doing great out there, folks. This will might be quite going great to see this kind of a method strategy. We'll be doing one pit stop, but the risk we'll have to take because only 10% to go. This is going to be the only hurt for UTRS in Sportech. We'll be dropped down onto a different position. That we might take the only risk to take. So let's go on to lean number 6 and stay strong before we can probably have to reach up onto the finish line. So here we go, folks. The final lap is on the way. SBRT is now going in to take the lead, and Dex FKS is staying on in second place, while Toto_Roger 4 in the Audi TT Cup 2016 is still tries to keep it up onto the slipstream. But looks like Denny AP_75 in the Audi TT Cup 2016 passes me. Gonna have to go right in onto 10th place. The riskier it goes, the harder it will be going in to be on the middle spot. We'll have to take much circumstances by the chance. Goes right in onto turn 3. Now goes on to turn 4 and 5. That one might take the only good perfect push out there. Will be staying on for the exact middle position before moving on to take the next round. 2 Brazilian racers and 1 Argentina GT player has to stay on track of each other. But that one might have sector 2 will be going in onto the curve straightaway before coming right back in onto the hairpin for only one more turn. 4% remaining. I don't know if this is going to get much harder it goes. And it looks like Doug V_68 in the Ford Mustang is slowing down, and UTRS is now moving on to take position number 9. Gonna have to keep an eye out. This is not good. This is totally not good for UTRS for only 2%. But this one might make 1% remaining. Gonna have to save plenty amount of fuel. We'll be going in onto the exact lean position. The first and second place driver have already made it in to be finishing up the S-curves. Now go straight forward onto the final turn, and we have ourselves a winner from Brazil. Is SBRT_Marcio 5th SS is now going in to take home the podium. That was a brilliant, excellent race out there to see 2 Brazilian GT players have finally reached the finish line. SBRT_Marcelo SS wins the race in round 6 at Tokyo Expressway. That was fantastic. That is so brilliant to see how 2 Brazilian racers have finally reached the finish line. Sacrifices is going in for UTRS. Gonna have to take that finish line by only 0%. The skin of its teeth has called in. Now that's competition for having a sacrifice to see that race to be reached up onto the finish line by only 0%. So this is going to be quite doing a good exact victory win for Ford Mustang to be at position number 1. Alfa Romeo 4C has finally reached in second place, and for Audi is finally done in third place. Only 30 seconds remaining until the race results will be confirmed. Three cars are now still running around to be reached up onto Sector 3. Rex Inifex in the Hyundai Genesis Group 4 has already made it in 1 minute and 6.158 seconds at the total time. Doug V_68 is slowing down, followed by username Danger in the McLaren 650S Group 4. Gotta make sure this is going to be quite doing a good perfect race segment out there. That we might have the only results to be confirmed and checked. Several drivers have finally did a good clean race by having a good lucky moment, and other drivers will be having the effect of the red dot, and that means the penalty is going to be quite going into the effect. So that was very good for having a 9th place finish and a sacrifice moment to be reached up onto the finish line. But I cannot believe it. That was a very tough risk race at Tokyo Expressway. For having a method, we'll be doing the only possible requirement to be using the field map. Great job out there, folks. That was a pretty good, excellent, great job at Tokyo Expressway. SBRT_Marocco SS has finally did a good job to have a good, successful victory win with his Ford Mustang Group 4. Dex FKX has successfully did a good job in second place by using the Alfa Romeo 4C Group 4. So I hope this one might have to congratulations to the top 3 drivers for doing a good, successful win. Everything goes on to be part of the racing highlights. that would like be given a good GT moment out there will be moving on to take the next race. And also, don't forget to subscribe to NTCT Tenacity 777's YouTube channel and Twitch. That is part of the most important collaboration for doing this part of the racing segment. But you're very welcome, Can't Handle It 187. That was a very good, well done for having a good endorsement response. Now that's competition. So the same thing as goes from the 2021 Exhibition Series, so that one might take the next 5 rounds will be scheduled on next Saturday, because stopping in at round 6 at Tokyo Expressway South Interlude for the Group 4 category is going to be quite doing a perfectly clean safe without taking a contact to be avoided by the impact of the barrier to avoid a 1.5 second penalty. But it was very good for me. I did my best. Everything is going smoothly for having a good single star earned for having a clean race. In June 5th, round 7 is coming up to be at the Nürburgring 24-hour track layout for only 3 laps by using the Group 3 category. 14 minutes of qualifying time, and we're about to be going harder to take on the Green Hell. And that means for the weekend for the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup will be featured on Sunday as well. Thank you for tuning in on my video, folks. I hope you enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links are in the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, Deepnet Art, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me. And don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be seeing you guys next time in the 2021 Series Manufacturer Series on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.